Have you ever had a cup of coffee before?
Yes.
Did it
No.
make you feel less tired, more energetic, more alert?
Yeah.
Well, that's because you just had a drug. The most popular drug in the entire world. In fact, over 85% of American adults consume at least one cup of one caffeinated beverage per day, according to a study done by Mitchellbrick and Hawken in 2012. As a college student myself, I contribute to this statistic. I've had my fair share of monsters, staying up late studying for exams, and I definitely have had a few cups of coffee in the morning as a quick pickup. So today, I'm going to be going over how caffeine affects the body, how the body becomes tired, and what happens when you withdraw from caffeine after taking it for a long period of time. So first, in order to understand how caffeine affects the body, we need to understand how the body becomes tired. So as we go throughout our day, the body releases a hormone called adenosine. And when adenosine builds up inside of the brain, it begins to bind with the adenosine receptors, sending a reaction to the body that causes the body to become more tired, more fatigued, and it urges us to go to sleep. But this is where caffeine comes in. Caffeine is shaped very similarly to adenosine. So when you ingest caffeine, caffeine begins to bind with the adenosine receptors instead of the caffeine, preventing the desired reaction from occurring. You can think of caffeine and adenosine as two very similarly shaped keys. When the adenosine key goes into the lock, it's able to go in all the way, turn the lock, and it will open it. Just like in the brain, it's going to cause the desired reaction, and the lock's going to open, and you will be urged to go to sleep. But when caffeine goes into the lock, caffeine is able to go all the way in, and it prevents other keys from entering, but it's not able to turn because the caffeine key isn't quite fit for the lock. So it's going to block the reaction from occurring, and it will also prevent the body from becoming tired. Additionally, when you ingest caffeine and the caffeine binds with the adenosine receptors, it releases two key hormones, adrenaline and dopamine. When adrenaline is released in the body, it causes the blood pressure to increase and the heart rate also increases, causing the body to become more alert. Additionally, it releases dopamine, which causes you to become happier. And this is by a study done by the U.S. Committee of Military Nutrition Research in 2010, and the military knows what they're talking about because they drink a lot of caffeine. But don't think that because your friend ingests caffeine and becomes super energetic, that you will as well. Because caffeine's effects on the body is largely regulated by your genetics. But what happens when you take caffeine for long periods on end? Well, eventually, your body's going to build up a tolerance to the caffeine. And as you can see here on the graph, this is what each cup of coffee is going to do to you. So for the first cup of coffee, it will bring you all the way up to 2, which is the peak buzz. But as you can see, as you go on, the peak buzz gets lower and lower. And eventually people have to start drinking caffeine just to get to a maintenance level of alertness. This is because your body creates more adenosine receptors because it thinks that your body is creating more adenosine, but it's actually just ingesting more caffeine. When you stop taking caffeine, eventually you become very exhausted and you become very fatigued. This is because your body has all the adenosine receptors that are created from the intake of caffeine, but when you stop taking caffeine, your body produces the same amount of adenosine as before, so you don't have enough adenosine and caffeine to keep you at the same level. Therefore, your adenosine receptors suck up all of the adenosine, causing you to become fatigued, tired, and you develop headaches, mostly in the front of the brain. And this is found by a study done by Sahadi and Hamilton in 2006. So next time you're thinking about having a cup of coffee, enjoy it. Think about what it does to your body, but think twice about having that second cup. Thank you.